classifying objects on the train route in all weather and visibility conditions, providing the ATO system with the information it needs to make autonomous driving decisions. The locomotive running autonomously was presented with various obstacles: a person, a car, a rail wagon, and an incorrectly positioned switch, and reacted entirely autonomously and without the intervention of any active staff aboard. The system proved effective up to 500 meters away from the obstacles in real-world conditions, providing a significant safety buffer in shunting yards. We hope this locomotive will also be upgraded with a system for automating coupling and decoupling of the rolling stock in a freight train. If you want an in-depth story about digital automatic coupling in the next innovation video, write us in the comments. This was a story about the application of ATO technology on Railways Explained. We hope you enjoyed and learned something new about the railways of the world. Help us reach a larger audience by hitting the like button, sharing the video with your friends, and of course subscribing to our channel. And if you think we're doing a good job and you have the means, support us on Patreon as well. Until the next time, goodbye.
Have you ever wondered if your house cat would make a good secret agent? No? Well, the CIA did, and in the 1960s they launched the project Acoustic Kitty. Their goal was to use ordinary domestic cats that wouldn't draw anyone's attention or suspicion and use them as listening devices to spy on the Kremlin and Soviet embassies. Over the course of an hour-long procedure, a veterinary surgeon implanted a microphone into a cat's ear canal, a small radio transmitter into the base of its skull, and a thin wire into its fur. Now, there were immediately problems with the cat becoming distracted, and it had to undergo a second operation that would inhibit its sense of hunger. The first part of Acoustic Kitty was to have it eavesdrop on a pair of men in a park outside the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C., but while dogs will instinctively work in concert with humans, cats have no such innate desire for cooperation with us. Ultimately, it was deemed that the plan may be technically possible, but it would never be practical. The original Acoustic Kitty had its implants removed and went on to live a long and happy life.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hey guys, in The Mandalorian show, we get to learn a bit about Mandalore the Great. Now, a lot of us Legends fans kind of think that this could be the new canon version of Mandalore the Ultimate, because both of their names are quite similar, as well as the little bit we know about Mandalore the Great. However, the good thing is we know a ton about Mandalore the Ultimate, and he's got a really interesting story that ties in with Revan, and the Mandalorian Wars, and the Jedi, and so much more. So in this video, I want to talk about Mandalore the Ultimate, give a bit of a lore history lesson, and we can discuss how he may tie into Mandalore the Great, or might actually be Mandalore the Great, as referred to in The Mandalorian. We first heard about him in episode 8 of season 1 back in 2019, when the armor was talking about how he rides a mythosaur into battle, and how he's glorified in Mandalorian songs. So Mandalore the Ultimate was the leader of Mandalorian people during the Mandalorian Wars in the Star Wars universe. This was thousands of years ago. He was born on the planet Mandalore, and as a member of the Tong species, he was trained for war from a young age. He became the leader of the Mandalorian Crusaders and led them into battle against the Old Republic during the Mandalorian Wars. He was known for his red cape, battle armor, and helmet, which once belonged to Mandalore the Indomitable. Mandalore the Ultimate was considered one of the most powerful warriors of his time and tended to fight with overwhelming force and war droids. He was one of the last Tong to claim the Mandalore title and was known to some as the Great Shadow Father. He sought to lift his people from the hole of betrayal and humiliation that plagued them since the Great Sith War. With highly advanced equipment and weapons, he dominated the battlefield. He wore an armor made of Mandalorian iron, or as we know, Beskar, that was highly resistant to blaster fire, lightsabers, and other types of attacks. He carried a personalized helmet that had a long T-shaped visor and a jetpack that allowed him to fly through the air like most Mandalorians have. His primary weapon, however, was a customized Mandalorian Ripper. This was a melee weapon that could cut through almost anything with ease. The Ripper was a large vibro sword. Now, we remember in season 1 when the Mandalorian used his vibro blade against the Mudhorn, it was this extremely fast vibrating blade that could cut through almost anything. Now imagine that, but a sword. That's what the Ripper was. Mandalore the Ultimate carried this with him during battles, and it was a symbol of Mandalore the Ultimate's leadership and prowess in battle. Now, the vibro sword was a common weapon among the Mandalorians, and the Ripper was a special variant of this weapon. It was crafted to be the ultimate weapon for Mandalore the Ultimate. The blade was made of a special metal alloy that made it resistant to lightsabers, making it an effective weapon against Jedi and Sith, which was very important for that time. The Ripper was also equipped with a variety of technological enhancements that made it even more formidable. It had a built-in energy shield that protected Mandalore the Ultimate from blaster fire and other forms of energy attacks. The weapon also had a hilt-mounted plasma generator that allowed Mandalore the Ultimate to deliver powerful strikes that could cut through almost any material. He had a strong mentality towards Mandalorians. Of course, they were his people. He saw them as the greatest warriors in the galaxy and believed that they should be united under his leadership to conquer the galaxy. He was highly respected by them. He was also known to be highly intelligent and strategic, able to make decisions that would lead his army to victory. Now, Mandalore the Ultimate disliked the Jedi. This was nothing new, as most Mandalorians disliked them as well. He saw Jedi as weak and inferior to the Mandalorians. He believed that the Jedi Order was holding the galaxy back and needed to be eliminated. His strong disdain for the Jedi originated from their interference in the Mandalorian Wars. Now, the Mandalorian Wars were a series of conflicts between the Mandalorian warrior culture and the Galactic Republic, which lasted approximately 15 or so years. The wars were primarily fought in the Outer Rim and saw the Mandalorians, under the leadership of Mandalore the Ultimate, launch a massive military campaign against the Republic. Now, the Mandalorians had long been a formidable fighting force and had a history of aggression towards the Republic. During these Mandalorian Wars, they employed advanced military tactics and weaponry, and were successful in conquering several worlds on the Republic's frontier. The Republic initially struggled to counter the Mandalorian threat, but eventually rallied under the leadership of Jedi Knights Revan and Malak, who organized a massive military response. They gathered a coalition of forces from throughout the galaxy and launched a counterattack that eventually pushed the Mandalorians back. So the Jedi Order, who were opposed to the Mandalorian aggression and war that they waged on the Galactic Republic, intervened in the conflict by supporting the Republic's forces. This intervention ultimately resulted in the defeat of the Mandalorians. Mandalore viewed the Jedi as meddlers and interfering do-gooders who prevented the Mandalorians from achieving their goals. Additionally, Mandalorians felt that Jedi's using the Force was a very cheap trick and not a true measure of strength. Mandalore's hatred for the Jedi may also have been fueled by a sense of pride